All right, guys, so today I'm going to show you how I was taught to remove hair, like practice doing that at different angles and practice my insertions. So bear with me. You should be doing this if you're a newbie. I want to say do it every day for 5 days. Start at 20 minutes, work your way to 30 minutes. Basically, what you're doing is teaching yourself how to have endurance as an electrologist throughout all of your sessions, whether it's a 30-minute session, 1 hour session, 120-minute session. Additionally, you're also training yourself how to extract and insert the needle so that every time that you insert that needle, it goes directly into the hair follicle. So I'm going to show you how to practice. Practice makes perfect. We all know this, but if you put in the work, if you put in the reps, you will become the best electrologist in the world. Okay, so focus and let's get started. All right, guys. So before you even think about working with a client, the first thing that you need to do is make sure that you have all of the supplies that you need. So the supplies that you need, you're gonna need your gloves. You're gonna need your dental bib to cover the where you're gonna be working at with your tools. You're gonna need your tweezers. You're gonna need your backup tweezers. These ones are angled. These ones are pointed. You're gonna need at least 2 or more cotton rounds. You're going to need your before care. So you have your lidocaine. Well, first you need to sanitize. So you have your sanitizer. For sake of this video, typically if you're in the state of Texas, you need a pump. You can't use this if you're working on a client. You have to have something that's a pump so you don't have to touch it whenever you're dispensing it. For me, since I'm at home, I have this. When I go back to the clinic, I'll have the pump. You're gonna need your barbicide. You're going to need your alcohol. You're gonna need your toner after you're done with your session. You're gonna need, for me, I use skincare because I also have an esthetician license. So you're gonna use a water-soluble skincare for after the client so that you can remove any germs that have produced from the skin, or what have you. You're gonna need aloe vera to calm the skin down. You're gonna need lidocaine to make sure that your customer is numb before you begin your session. You're going to need your baby wipes, non-scented, so that you can wrap your probe with this so that it's direct contact with the skin. It's not direct contact with the skin, but it has like a wet wipe to better disperse energy from this probe or this rod. You're gonna need, if you're using, I like using my loops better than I like using a magnifying lamp, but you're gonna need your loops. You're gonna need to make sure that this light is secure, and you're also gonna need to make sure that your battery supply is charged all the way before each client. You can always get a backup charger, and so that you're charging in between sessions and just interchanging them as you go. You're also gonna need a variety of needles for your client based off of the coarseness of their hair, the texture of their skin, the fullness of the hair, whether it's vellus hair, coarse hair, etc. You're going to need different options. So while you're practicing, it's a good time to practice your protocol. Make sure that you have all of the utensils that you need before you see a client. Make sure that you are prepared so that you feel confident going into the clinic and going in to see all of your clients. And you'll love yourself somewhat. You'll thank yourself whenever you walk in and you feel confident in what you're doing. So let's get started. So, our subject for today is Mr. Orange. The reason that we are using an orange is because the tiny pores in an orange actually are very similar to the tiny pores that are in our skin. So, you can use an orange, a blood orange, a grapefruit, a tangerine, whatever you can get your hands on in order to start your practice. And we are going to treat this orange as if it is our human client. So every time that we practice our insertions, we're practicing our protocol because we want to get better and better at it. And we want to make sure that every single time that we have a client, we know exactly what to do. The more you do something, the better you get at it. After we sanitize the area that we're going to be working on, we're going to be applying lidocaine cream, at least 4% or higher. And we want to make sure that it is a unscented formula, and typically these are going to be fast penetrating lidocaine creams. I also apply aloe vera gel for my clients because one, it hydrates the skin and it hydrates the hair. It's just going to be a lot easier for you to do your insertions more precisely because you're getting a better, more suppler skin, and the pore is going to be more moisturized and easier to stick the probe into. And now the fun part, we get to practice our insertions. So you're going to use your loops to and the light on your loops to find the tiny pores that are inside of the orange. And then you're going to start practicing your insertions at every angle that you can. Just I don't want to say zone out, but sometimes you just zone out whenever you do this. But I would say have a timer in place for either 15 minutes, 20 minutes, or even 60 minutes if you want to do it for 60 minutes, and just practice. Put on something, you know, listen to some music or put something on like a podcast or whatever and just go in and practice. For this particular video, I went for about 20 minutes. After you're done with your insertions, again, this is a client, this is a real client, people. So we're going to do some aftercare. So, in order to calm down the skin, you can either use a post extraction solution or a calming botanical mixer. I just kind of switch it up either or depending on the client and how their skin is reacting. If I start to see those raised heat bumps, then I will use the post extraction solution to calm down the skin and also prevent any breakouts from electrolysis. I'll also further calm down the skin with aloe vera gel, and then I will go ahead and put ice on the client. I also use calming botanical mixer every now and again because it also is a soother of irritated skin, and it is a great addition to your aftercare for electrolysis clients. All right, you guys. So let me turn this off. Now that we have practiced on our clients, our insertions, we're now going to practice. I'll take these off so I can look at you guys more clearly. Now we're going to practice our removal of the hair from different angles. So you are going to need a few household items. Of course, you're going to need your tweezers, different sizes and different angles. Where? Okay, sorry. Where am I? Okay, there it goes. There we go. different different angles, one angular and one pointer. The next thing that you're gonna need is an ice tray. I don't know how old this thing is, but it's gonna do what I need it to do for this particular purpose. And you're gonna need some rice. So what we're going to do is practice taking hair from one area. If I can grab it, sorry guys. Okay, from one area to another area. This way, one area to another area. So from left to right, right to left. Left, right, left, right. And then with the rice, let me put it down like that. Stay. Okay, it's not gonna stay. With the rice, I feel like I can show you this way. You're gonna pick it up from whatever angle it is sitting in. We're going to grab it so it feels like we're pulling a hair. This one is at a different angle. It's hard to do this without my loops, honestly. All right, we're gonna take it from this angle, put it there. Another angle. Okay. Put it there. We're gonna do that until we get tired. Typically whenever I'm practicing, I have something playing in the background. Right now I have Suits playing in the background while I'm doing this so that I don't get bored. Typically whenever you're in a spa setting, there'll be music playing and you'll just be with your client. Typically some small talk here and there to make sure that the client is comfortable while we're going through the process. But for this particular situation, when you're practicing and you want to continue focusing on the task at hand, sometimes something in the background kind of helps you kind of zone out and continue with your practice. So we're gonna start in a few minutes. I'm gonna put my loops back on. Put my light back on, and we're gonna start. So that is how you practice. That is how you get in your reps. That is how you get better at what you're doing. Whenever you're practicing, keep in mind that you need to keep your core engaged and keep your posture relaxed but firm. The reason I'm saying this is that you have to, as someone that's doing this type of work, you need to make sure that you're supporting and saving your back, because you're gonna put a lot of reps in. Your body is doing a lot of work for other people and you need to take care of yourself. So keep your core engaged, posture, and your loops are gonna be your lifesaver when it comes to how you maintain that posture. Additionally, the type of chair that you use is very important. For me, my favorite is a saddle chair, where you're basically feeling super supported, and you can also get, excuse me, you're just feeling super supported. You can also get other things to like just make your life easier. A part of being an electrologist and an esthetician is that you need to maneuver your client so that you're being safe with your body and you're being safe with your client. So as far as like these areas, there's certain angles that your client can lay so that you're not straining your lower back and you're not straining your shoulder, your arms, your wrist, etc. So keep that in mind. Continue the practice. You're going to get so much better at it as you go. And let me know if any of these tips work for you. All right, take care, guys. I'm going to go get some ramen. I'm going to practice a little bit more because I really actually enjoy doing this. It's very therapeutic. But I'm going to continue doing this for a while, and then I'm going to go get my ramen and just enjoy the rest of my night. All right, guys, take care. Bye.